I'm getting ready for the National Committeeman nominations.
Kelly was a linebacker. He's going to sack the quarterback. What's needed in the National Committeeman is a quarterback or a halfback, somebody who carries the ball, not somebody that...
Over here we have Mr. William Kelly. Say hi. We're waiting for things to get started. Things should be going soon.
I'm Demetra Committee today, so thank you all for being here. We are going to start the meeting with an invocation to stay in your seats, and then we will have the Pledge of Allegiance. Dear God, thank you for allowing us to be living in a country where gatherings like this are possible, where we can participate in our democratic process. Help us today to make wise decisions and help us to act in a manner that is pleasing to you. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, we could do the Pledge of Allegiance, and we're going to face these and face these.
So busy. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order of business is to take a roll call. So, number 3 is our legal counsel, as is Laura Jacksack, and we are both over here. John, would you read that?
First District, George Douglas is here. Second District, Kurt Diefelman. Here. Third District, Lionel Garcia. Here. Fourth District, Jimmy Karen. Here. Fifth District, Jimmy Caparuso. Here. Sixth District, Joyce Unhausen. Here. Seventh District, Frank Capuzzi. Here. 8th District, Bob Close. Here. 9th District, Jim Soring. We'll call him again. He is here. 10th District, David Barkhausen. Here. 11th District, Darrell Smith. Here. 12th District, Myron Neff. 13th District, Bill Mayer. Here. 14th District, Mike Kenyon. Here. 15th District, Gary Appleby. Here. 16th District, Jim Thompson. Present. 17th District, John Dudek. Here. 18th District, Stephen Shearer. Here. 19th District, Rondell Belford, excuse me. Rondell.
I think Jim Soring here.
And Jim Soring here. We have a quorum and a full committee.
I want to introduce the two co-chairmen. This is Gene Dawson from the 8th Congressional District, who is serving as co-chairman, and also Mark Shaw from the 10th Congressional District. None of us have votes in this today, but we will be allowed to ask questions, and they will also be allowed to state their preferences. So just for the record, we just wanted to make sure you know who is at the table. We do have a little bit of business to take care of. I just want to kind of explain how things are going to go today before we get going. We're going to do National Committeewoman first, then we're going to go to National Committeeman. As we have multiple candidates for National Committeemen, I have put the numbers in again, thinking that that's probably the fairest manner. The room is open. It's an open meeting. People can come in and leave as they want. The candidates are allowed to stay and listen. The candidates don't have to stay if they do not want to. So each of them given 5 minutes to speak, and they know that the candidates will do that in advance. And there are questions allowed from the committee members only. There's only questions from the committee members. After they do their presentations, that's when the vote will take place. I do think we have one issue to take care of. I've been told there is a 4th candidate for National Committeeman that did not submit papers. The committee needs to take action upon that. There was a deadline to submit your applications, and I would entertain a motion that that person not be allowed to speak today because they did not submit their paperwork. So moved. Do we have a second? Second. Do we have any discussion on that? Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, we will keep it to the 3 committeemen who did submit their paperwork in time. We're going to start with the National Committee Woman. We only have one candidate for that role, and that is Demetra DeMonte, and I believe she is here. I saw her a minute ago. She go ahead and get started, and you can have your 5 minutes.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Members of the nominating committee, I'm honored to be here today to seek your support for re-election as your National Committee Woman. I am so excited about the opportunities and the challenges that we have. And I want to continue to put my experience, energy, and passion to work for our party. As your National Committee Woman since 2008, I have traveled all across this great state, attending hundreds of events, meetings, speaking engagements, attending fundraisers, keynoting, Lincoln Day dinners, in order to help our candidates, our officials, our volunteers, our activists. I've been so very, very fortunate to have developed wonderful working relationships with our county chairs, with our women's organization, with our Hispanic organizations, our young Republicans, our college Republicans, our Tea Party groups, and our 9/12 groups. I have also worked hard to identify National Party resources and bring them back to Illinois. I brought speakers here to Illinois in order to assist our fundraising, as well as hosting several fundraisers at our own home. My independent fundraising efforts have resulted in raising tens of thousands of dollars for our candidates and for the Illinois Republican Party. A year ago, January 2011, in Washington, D.C., I was honored to be elected Secretary of the Republican National Committee, one of the 4 elected officers of the United States. I was a new member. I was only on the committee for 2 years. And yet, during the short time that I was on the committee, I believe I was able to earn the trust and respect of my peers because of my hard work, passion, and enthusiasm for our Republican cause. And my position as Secretary is also good for Illinois. Because as Secretary, I am on the Executive Committee of the RNC, where all the important decisions of the RNC are made. And I also have a seat at every table of the RNC, which means Illinois has a seat at every table of the RNC. As Secretary, I will have a vital public role at the Republican National Convention. I'm working with our state party to ensure that our convention is a positive and exciting one. And I've worked hard to get us the best possible housing. And luckily, just a few weeks ago, we did find out we have great housing. One of the top-ranked hotels right on Clearwater Beach. As many of you know, I am a proud conservative. And as such, I'm a strong conservative advocate on the Republican National Committee. I'm a founding member of the Republican National Conservative Caucus. And I'm the author and chief sponsor of several significant resolutions that funded the entirety of the RNC have been voted on. I also believe in the power of grassroots. And each have been taught by one of the very best, my dad, a Democrat Chicago precinct captain for almost 50 years. From my dad, I learned elections are won on the ground at the grassroots level, one precinct at a time. And although I was raised a Democrat, during the dawn of the Reagan Revolution, I became a Republican. My political experience has also sprung from the ground up. I began as a precinct committee. In fact, I still am a precinct committee. Then I was elected county vice chair, county chair, state central committeeman, national committee woman, now secretary of the Republican National Committee. I do all of this. I work at all of this for one reason. Because of a desire and a passion to create a better world for my children and for my future grandchildren. And my work is a labor of love. I have no expense account, no staff, no salary. But I am blessed with an intern. One of my interns is here today, Justin, who came with me to Washington, D.C. and helped me get elected, and volunteers who drive me all around this great state, and a wonderful, loving, patient husband who believes in me and supports me in this. You know, our election battle this November will be fought on the ground. We only have to look to Wisconsin to see this. We understand that we need committed leaders who understand the importance of rallying up grassroots. With your support and your vote today, I will continue to bring my experience, passion, and energy to our party. So I humbly ask today for your vote and your support for re-election as your National Committeewoman. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions for Demetra? No questions? You would entertain a motion.
The motion be in order to close the nominations of candidates and themselves. I second that nomination.
The motion to close the nominations for a National Committeewoman.
Should unanimous be a voice vote? Okay. If that's a voice vote unanimous, can all those in favor say aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, if I can get the three candidates for National Committeeman to come up, you'll pick the order of speaking from the very fancy plastic cup I have. You got this, that. Who has one? I do. Okay, you will be first. This is
Hello,
Mr. Hill,
everybody.
and you have 5 minutes.
Thank you. National Committeeman Selection Committee and delegates. My name is William J. Kelly. I was candidate for comptroller in 2010. I've traveled all over the state of Illinois and I've spoken to real Republicans, and I know what they are thinking. As National Committeeman, I pledge to go wherever 2 or more Republicans are meeting and give them the speech that Illinois' best days are still ahead. But now is not the time to give that speech. Rarely in life do we actually say what we mean because we are afraid of what we might lose. But we have lost too much already, and we are on the brink of losing it all. So therefore, before it is too late, I am going to say what this committee needs to hear. The Illinois Republican Party is a joke. And we need to give the party back to the people. As National Committeeman, I will enthusiastically support direct elections. State Republican leaders, for the state Republican leaders, so that this will bring accountability to our party again. We have to continue. Why do we continue to deny Republican primary voters the basic right to vote? How can they trust their party if their party does not trust them? No one on this election committee was elected to be here. They were appointed by people who were also not elected. They are 2 people removed from actual voters. Does that sound like democracy to you? No. I understand that you have been charged to produce 1 name to the delegates for National Committeeman. And you have probably already been told who that 1 name should be, with the hope that the delegates who are not here today will vote for that 1 name. And voila, we will have 4 more years of insider mediocrity at best and corruption at worst. What I'm asking you, in the true spirit of what made our party great, to trust the people. Make your report all 3 names. Rank them if you must. Whatever, be my guest. But to do this would make you the heroes of the convention. Maybe your brother, the committeeman, is not going to be mad, will be mad at you, or maybe the finance chairman over there in Lake County will be mad at you. But be a hero right now. Throw all 3 names to the convention floor and let the delegates decide. Let the people decide. Why even invite them to be delegates to a convention if you're not going to let them vote on anything? Or pre-select who they should vote for? Why call them delegates? Why not simply refer to them as the observers? And why has the party also denied Republicans who have paid their $50 the opportunity to vote, as Peterson's told me at lunch today? I'm calling on my 2 opponents, Sandy and Rich. Are you willing to let all 3 names go to the convention floor?
Will the committee?
I see. I do. As National Committeeman, I will also focus my efforts on reshaping our party's fundraising strategy. We need to renew the faith of our party in order to bring in new donors. Not the same one Obama bungler and top contributor to Rahm Emanuel that wants to buy influence in the Illinois Republican Party. I will help refocus our party's efforts on ethical fundraising, not schemes that raise the specter of financial impropriety. If you don't think that these people can see through that, you're wrong. That's why we don't have new donors. That's why we don't have new voters. Just last week, they saw the GOP leaders vote against the Republican Party platform, or at least the one that we had when I walked into this room. The platform that is against Obamacare, against higher taxes, and gambling expansion. Sandy and Rich, if you are elected, would you be willing to return the Ron and Obama-tainted contributions and give our party a fresh start with the voters? I will. People
No
often
comment
ask,
from the other two
what would Reagan
candidates.
do? I can tell you that Reagan would not give or receive money from Barack Obama. It is time to give the party back to the people. Restore direct elections, retain the conservative planks of the party platform, who violate the trust of the voters, and give the delegates a choice for national committeemen, not just one of the party insiders. I have told the truth here today. That is all I can do. I have a clear conscience. We say that 2012 is the most important election in our lifetime, and it probably is. But we'll say the same thing about 2014 and 2016. But whether or not we will truly be successful in these elections will depend on the Illinois Republican Party and what you decide in this room today. Thank you.
No, there are no questions from the audience.
Why is that?
Is there any questions from the committee, Mr. Kelly? Thank you, Mr. Kelly. We're at number 2. Okay, Mr. Williamson, this is Rich Williamson.
Rich Williamson.
Thanks very much for letting me have a chance to address you. It's going to be a great weekend, whatever the results are of this committee meeting or other. It's a great opportunity for Republicans to get together and be energized as we go into the fall. I want to thank the members for nominating our committee, for serving on this committee and your leadership elsewhere. And I want to thank Pat Brady and Carol Donovan for their leadership of our party in the state central community. I'm pleased that my partner at the RNC, Demetra, has endorsed my candidacy, and I'm pleased that the majority of the state central committee members endorsed my candidacy because they know best what I've been doing the last 2.5 years. I've had the opportunity to work for the GOP at all levels. In 1974, right out of school, I helped organize precincts for Congressman Phil Crane. Later, I had the opportunity to be the Republican nominee for the U.S. Senate in 1992, where I traveled all around the state, met many of you, got to understand the diversity of the state, appreciate what different regions of the state bring, and mostly appreciate the hard work at the local and county level, where the real work is done to help win elections. And then I've had the opportunity also to serve as state chairman in 1999 and 2002, where I did Lincoln Days throughout the state, traveled, and tried to support the grassroots efforts. I've also had the opportunity to work at the national level. It's my great honor to work on President Ronald Reagan's senior staff in the White House, to serve as ambassador for the United States to the International Atomic Energy Agency, where I was negotiating non-proliferation issues with the Soviets and the Chinese and others, served as an Assistant Secretary of State to President Reagan. It's a great thing to have had the opportunity to spend hours every day with that man born in Dixon who changed and advanced history for conservative values and the Republican Party. Later, I served on the President's General Advisory Committee on Arms Control with President Bush, 41, and had 3 ambassadorships under President George W. Bush. The reason I go through this is because I understand the state. I have visited different parts of the state, but also I know Washington in a unique way, having both served in the political and governmental level. When I was elected to this position in 2010, I was able to call a friend of 33 years, Haley Barbour, the governor of Mississippi, who was chairman of the Republican Governors Association, that gave millions of dollars to our gubernatorial candidate. I was able to work with the House and Senate leadership to get their financial support. We got more money from Washington than ever before, millions of dollars. And when American Crossroads had concerns because of our Senate candidate and questions being raised about his resume, I got 3 calls from Mike Duncan and Carl Rove. Should we stay in this? I said yes. They gave over $2 billion to help Mark. Money's important. I'm not the best fundraiser the state's ever seen at the local level. I didn't grow up with a wealthy father. I'm not wealthy. I've made contributions. I'll continue to do that. But if you're looking for that person who can raise the most money, I'm not that person. If you're looking for the person who can work with the Republican National Committee and the power brokers in Washington who need to support us, I believe I can. Also, let me know that we are blessed that Demetra DeMonte is the secretary of the Republican National Committee. She came to me and asked my support. Our state chairman said no. He lobbied me to oppose it. I got a call from my college friend, Governor Mitch Daniels, to support the candidate from Indiana. But I understood that Illinois was best served by Demetra taking a leadership position, and I helped her, and I think she would attest, gave her decisive support so she could win that race. That's another way in which I've helped Illinois. And I serve as one of Mitt Romney's 3 senior foreign policy advisors. I've talked to Mitt 3 times this week about Syria, about Iran, about the European crisis. He had me spend a Wednesday meeting with different senators talking about his foreign policy. Why is that important? It's important because he is our nominee. He can win this presidential election, and I have a relationship with him to make sure that the Romney campaign doesn't forget Illinois. And I'm pleased that both the state and national Romney campaign support. 2012 is a historic year because of what Barack Obama has done. The polls show we can take the White House. We have an exciting young candidate in Jason Plummer who's going to pick up a seat for us. We have other candidates who are going to be able to retain their seats. We're going to be able to pick up House and Senate. I believe I have an opportunity to continue to contribute to that. I thank you for your time. I ask you to
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Williamson?
Mr. Williamson, you're the incumbent national chairman, and I just wanted to ask you a question. I think Mr. Kelly makes a good point that our party is kind of in shambles in many areas. We have the most corrupt government in the state, and we can't make inroads in a lot of areas. Have you put forth anything, any projects to help or work with the township chairman for recruiting the precinct committeeman and strengthening that position?
So I've made done league days like in Grant Township. I've done events in DuPage and elsewhere. I've tried to be supportive to local organizations. But has a township committeeman reached out to me and asked me to make calls to run a precinct committee?
So I'm just talking about any kind of something from the party about pushing or working with the